In this video of the MT-07 FZ07 Adventure Build Series, we're going to be fixing this, our ground clearance, at least protecting it.
Let's take a perfectly good FZ07, tear it apart and turn it into an adventure bike. For no damn reason at all, I think Jake is losing his mind. Yeah, you crazy in a mug.
Now, many of you pointed out in the last video that the ground clearance would be probably the biggest problem, which you're right, it is something to worry about. By the way, I also had a number of you guys offering me up like front ends to different bikes and this and that, trying to actually put long travel on this thing, and that's great. Like I said though in the last video, I don't want to go that far because I actually still want this to be a street bike too when we put the other rims back on and have street bike tires. So I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. The oil pan is still the lowest hanging thing on this bike, which is just aluminum, probably cast aluminum. Well, we've got a big hookup from Higdonion. Yes, check this out, a giant skid plate for this bike. If you thought the one for the XR was big, no, this is even bigger. This is going to cover the oil pan and the exhaust. Protect all the real parts. This is a real skid plate. This is actually going to attach to something hard, not just the underside of the bike, like I've seen some chin skirts and things for this bike out there do. No, this is for real. So to attach it, they also send these guys. We're going to have a crash cage on the side. The skid plate is going to attach something like that. Yeah! The welds are amazing on these things. Everything looks super beef. I love the direct line that this has going right up into this frame right here. It's all kind of in harmony together. This thing is like a tank. The gentleman behind this company is just a guy that had an FJ09 and wanted to go off-roading more than Yamaha wanted him to go off-roading with it. And so he built his own stuff out there, his own crash cages with skid plates. So not just some guy mass producing these things to try to make a quick buck. I mean, these are really well made. Luckily he made one for the FZ07 too, MT-07, and he does for another number of bikes out there that are in need of a skid plate. As you can see, it's this really neat blue. They can do them in all kinds of cool colors if you ask them to, but I had him send these raw to our boy We Coated, mainly because I wanted him to also coat the rims at the same time. Kind of giving that away right now, but yes, that's the color scheme we're going for, is this gray flat black with this Yamaha blue to look a bit like one of the versions of the T7 that's coming to America. I already have the rims over there. Patreons, I'll show you that real quick. We're also gonna add a sub cage. It's all wrapped in stuff too. It's because it's also been coated. I'm trying to be careful with it. But a sub cage. This is also from Higdonion. I'll be back here protecting the rear, so we're gonna have full protection on this. This is all the hardware for the cage and skid plate. See, there's these little pucks that go in here. There's two little sheet metal screws. I found a couple little small machine screws here. They're stainless. I've got a lock washer and a washer on there. I just prefer that over the little sheet metal screw, but you may not. You may want to use a sheet metal screw. You do you. I'm going to use those. I found a tap that'll work for it, so we'll do that. Let's slip this in here. I'm going to very gently try to mark this. All right, we've made a little mark. I've added a small piece of tape to the end of the bit, just so we know not to over drill it. We look at kind of how much of your threaded bolt sticks through, and then we also got to imagine there's a little bit of metal on the frame itself or the cage. So you just simply drill until the blue tape touches what you're drilling. We went in one size smaller because I want the threads to be as sort of thick as you can get them. So when you do start your tap, you just want to make sure you're going really straight into the hole as it goes in there. Maybe every few seconds kind of back it out a little bit. I had some Delron plastic stuff on my WR with machine bolts in it and it was fine. The whole time I had it, they never like backed out or got loose or anything. I'm quite confident this will work just fine. We've hit the bottom. Side number 2. You need to remove these two motor mount bolts, which also seem to be holding our T-Rex slider on here. We were still going to keep the rest of the cool T-Rex parts on here, like the engine cases, the axle sliders. The T-Rex stuff is awesome, but unfortunately this single piece is in the cage. We do one side and then the other, but even with that, the frame and the motor, it can drop just a little bit. In fact, that did happen to us last time when we put these on. And so what you want to do is put some sort of jack under the motor to keep that from happening. Now, last time I had to use a goofy old car jack, but got this new toy for Christmas. My sister's husband, my new brother-in-law, got me as my Secret Santa, and he got me this. He also got me the smaller version of one of these, 1/4 inch. Dude, you went way over your Secret Santa budget, but I appreciate it. These are two very awesome things. So, just gonna take this, and we don't need to like lift it up. Right now I'm just gonna put it under it, just touching it basically. And when we go to remove those bolts, if it looks like we need to bring the motor up a little bit, well, we'll just zip this up just a pinch more. After we pulled our bolt out, we can see that the motor has dropped just a pinch. So what we're gonna do is we're going to jack it up just a little bit higher and see if we can't get that back in line. Easy way to tell if you've got everything in right is you can turn the bolt by hand, you know? If it was tight, then something's wrong. Let me slide this in here. God, that looks good on that flat black. Hand thread this on for now. Leave them both like that until we get the skid plate on, just slightly loose. And as long as there's, you know, I think as long as you take it basically all the way in and just come out like about a turn out, and that's not like the motor's gonna fall out, that's still plenty of bolt in there. We'll just torque it once everything's in place. We did my XR skid plate, covered it in some foam rubber like this stuff right here. Big thing with these is they're sort of an amplifier of sound. Looks close enough. This thing doesn't have to be 100% perfect, honestly. It's not perfect on my XR, no one would ever know. It's just pretty close. This stuff is very sticky. I'll put a link to this below, along with everything else, of course. Foot under it just for a moment to kind of help. Powder comes a little thick. Give this a couple turns to get it to go through. Leave these again all hand tight until I get it on. Widen them a little bit on both sides to get it to fit. Right there it is, it's in. What it would seem like you'd want to do is go ahead and torque down these bolts and then do these ones last. But actually you'd want to do it the other way. This is the thing we're going to be able to take on and off regularly. Now you want to torque down this, which will then sort of guide the cage the way it needs to be, so that when you torque down the top bit, it means you can pull this off later without having something kind of pull itself out of alignment. So we will do that the only way I know how. Like an absolute boss. Step down so I can use the extension to a step back up to a 19. Cute, isn't it? According to the interwebs, these are to be torqued to 40 foot-pounds. Yep. Torque them without spinning them continuously forever in the head. This isn't Chase on two wheels, okay? Honestly, with the yellow rim, it actually looks kind of cool. I mean, it's gonna change though, but I could put up with that. We just need to plug up our 3 holes. Little cap back here, big cap right here, and my cap right here. It's like a freaking cow catcher on the front here. This is so wild looking. The bike is jacked down a little bit right now because of the lift. There will be a little bit more clearance in here, but this is awesome, dude. It's so sturdy and check this out. It does clear the T-Rex K-slider, which is honestly useless at this point. More protection, baby. Fake carbon fiber, fully protected. Look at my hand. I'm grabbing the oil filter right there. No big deal. Here, boom, you can get your little 17 right on your oil drain bolt in this direction, but I like it because it's still protected from this direction, which is what I was worried about. No, this is awesome. Yes, it does mean you will get some oil draining down into here. Let's screw the WD-40 here. Let's sit a minute, hit it with the hose. Hopefully no one anyone from the EPA sees what's running down your driveway and you're good to go.
Be sure to leave a like for epic unwrapping.
That looks good. All right, well hey, that answers one question I had there. They did leave a little bracket here in the back for the plate to go on, I suppose. That way we can be all legal so the cops can't say nothing. My back has been killing me basically all video, but I took some tough pills. I'm feeling a little better now. That's why I'm a little more jazzed up. This is Elsa, right? My daughter told me to hang on to this. Much like I did with the front, I'm going to throw 2 of their hardwares away, swap my own. These ones will be the ones that go where the passenger pegs went, so I'm gonna throw a little bit of blue Loctite on them, because we're gonna throw those on first. If you ever put too much Loctite on one bolt, just take the other bolt and like go wee, and kind of smear it on them. Be sure to use turbo Loctite, because that means more power, baby. The other side, I noticed you gotta give it a little flare. It's not hard, you just gotta give it a little pull and it'll come into position. These things looked bent to me, but once you get them on, you'll see, oh yeah, it's actually just fine. It's not bent. You're just stupid and didn't know what things look like, Jake. These 4 holes right here are where your license plate stuff would bolt onto. There's 2 other blank holes right here, and that's actually what the subframe, sorry camera, lines up with it. Boys, it's just lined up perfect. I'm gonna bump the camera again, I apologize. Once again, using our turbo Loctite, which is also Yamaha blue. I'm gonna come up here. And these nuts that go on the bottom, I mean, I put Loctite on them, but they're also lock washers? Lock nuts, threaded nylon nuts. Still gonna keep everything hand tight for now. You can get a screwdriver in kind of at an angle. It's not perfect, but we'll use the old on the bottom here, a little zippity zip. Oh, that's solid, baby, that's solid. We haven't even done the other bolts. I think I'm gonna move this. I don't like this here, mainly because it sticks out so far. The seat and everything in plastics normally would come up kind of right over all this, so this would be fine. This is about where it's set stock, but I may try to relocate it, maybe up in here somewhere. Now we just need to add in our pegs here, our pucks, not pegs. This is the peg, this is the puck. Once again, we need to add the small hole in here, and in our case, we'll tap it. Little end of a punch here, nice and hot, nice and warm. Hold this in here, we're just gonna tap that plastic. We have a little mark in there. Now we'll repeat down the other side. We got skid plate, crash cages, sub cages for all that pro protection. Big thanks to Hindoro. Hang on, here's someone's video, listen.
Screw the tires, screw the radiator kit.
Say the name of it. What do you call it?
The paperwork to get the bike, because I knew I wanted it. This is a Higdonion.
How do you say that?
Skid, a Higdonion, and a group buy to purchase the Higdonian Urban Cage.
Higdonion. We said that at one point, didn't we? Big thanks to Higdonion for hooking it up with this super awesome cage and sub cage and skid plate. Look, this is one of the things I didn't even know this existed. My buddy Matt told me about it. Once I found out this existed, I knew that this idea was possible. I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. I still got a lot left to go, but this is, yes. This is good. If you want early access to these videos without ads on it, be sure to check out Patreon. Yeah, next video, guys, we'll be probably building the rims. I think that's what's gonna be happening next. Like I said, they're all here. All the parts are here for the rims now. So we probably will start digging into that. We'll make them tubeless as well. And then the yellow will be gone. I guess I kind of like the yellow with the blue, but no, I think it reminds me of Valentino Rossi. Maybe it's because of this. But all right, we'll see you next video. Am I holding this the right way? It's close to the shape that I need. Is that I can get it to. I don't know how to end that sentence. You ever do that? Like, you've made your point, but you're not like ready to cap the sentence off yet. So, you know, you just keep talking and hopefully something happens. Higdonia. It hurt my knuckle. Higdonia? They give you 4, 3, harpoon, onion, again. Sorry, my child's upset. Side note, you guys do know it's not fake, right? Like, sometimes you wonder if like people forgot that it was a meme. Like, I'm just gonna sit you up here, Elsa. Okay, you're gonna whoa. Why? What the hell's with your legs? The legs only go out. Oh, that's cute. That's cute, Disney toy. Yeah, and they fired me because I was inappropriate. My check said Disney Inc. on them. They owned Maker Studios, and that's who paid me. Then they fired us all because of PewDiePie. It was all a bunch of BS in the first place. But apparently we were all too edgy for Disney. But that's the toys they're giving to the kids. Elsa in pajamas, and their legs go like this.